Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself, Professor Shahana Sengupta. Presently, I am associated with Swami Vivekananda Institute of Modern Science, Kolkata as an assistant professor in the Department of Microbiology. First of all, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to all my viewers and subscribers. In my YouTube channel, I generally share different types of academic videos related to the field of biological science. Today, I have chosen a topic for you all, that is immune response. This is the first part of my video lecture. So let's start with the journey with the new topic. Happy listening. Let's begin with response. The specific reactivity induced in a host by an antigenic stimulus is known as immune response. It consists of collective and coordinated reaction to the foreign substance in an individual mediated by the cells and molecules of the immune system. It is basically an act of protection against invading microorganisms in form of antigens. It may lead to the consequence which may be either beneficial, indifferent, or injurious. Now, I would like to discuss the relationship between immune response and immunological memory. Let's begin with the primary response. The primary response occurs when an antigen comes in contact to the immune system for the very first time. During this time, the immune system has to learn to recognize the antigen and how to make antibody against it, and eventually produce memory lymphocytes. Secondly, talking about the secondary immune response, it occurs when the second time, or maybe the third, fourth, fifth time, the person is exposed to the similar antigen. At this point, immunological memory has been established and the immune system can start making antibodies in an immediate basis. Primary response is basically characterized by the presence of four different characteristics phases. All the phases, they are having different types of characteristics expression. The first phase is known as lag phase. The second phase is known as log phase or logarithmic phase. The third phase is known as plateau phase. And the fourth phase is known as decline phase. The first phase, that means in lag phase, there is no antibody is being detected. Whereas the second phase, that means in logarithmic phase, antibody titer rise logarithmically. The affinity of the antibodies for the antigenic determinants is low to moderate during the primary antibody response. Third phase, that is the plateau phase, during which the antibody titer gets stabilized. In the last phase, that means during the phase of decline, the serum antibody concentration continues to decrease or decline. It may drop to very low levels even. This is known as a faster or decline phase, during which antibodies are naturally metabolized or bound to the antigens and cleared from the circulation. Immunoglobulin M or IgM levels tend to decline faster than the immunoglobulin G or IgG level. As they occur, the antibody disappearance, the primary antibody response slowly diminishes. After the primary immune response, there comes the secondary immune response. Secondary immune response occurs due to the re-exposure of the host body towards the same antigen. After that, sensitized memory cells respond within hours. Recognition of the antigen is being done in an immediate manner. Antibody level picks up in 2 to 3 days at much higher levels than in the primary response. Results in immediate production of protective antibody, mainly IgG, but may see some IgM also. Antibodies bind with greater affinity and their levels in the blood can remain high for weeks to months in compared to the primary response. Let's discuss about the dynamics of antibody production. Compared to the primary antibody response, the secondary antibody response has a much shorter lag phase or latent period. The secondary antibody response is more rapid and antibody titer rises to the higher level than during the primary response. It remains within the serum for a longer period of time even as discussed. The secondary antibody response produces antibodies with a higher affinity for the antigen. Antibody tends to bind with the antigen more firmly and thus to dissociate less easily. Stronger secondary immune response peaks within a few days. The secondary response is a result of the pre-resistance of antigen-sensitive memory cells following the first immune response. These memory cells persist in the body for years and confer long-term specific immunity. Serum antibody titer slowly decreases or declines over time, but subsequent exposures to the same antigen can trigger another secondary response due course of time. The graphical representation clearly demonstrates the antibody titer pattern of primary and secondary response. Latent period or the log period is longer. There occur gradual rise in antibody production that takes days to week time to reach antibody titer. After that, plateau level reached and gradually antibody level declines as antigenic challenge discontinued. From the graphical representation, it is clearly visible that the secondary response is much rapid, sharp, and having greater impact than that of the primary one. Response can be categorized into two major types: antibody-mediated immune response or AMI and cell-mediated immune response or CMI. The antibody-mediated immune response is also known as humoral immune response. It is the host defense mechanism that are mediated by antibody present in plasma, lymph, and tissue fluids. It is the type of adaptive immune system responsible for defense against extracellular microorganisms, microbial toxins, and foreign macromolecules. The cells involved in AMI are mostly B lymphocytes, T helper cells, and phagocytic cells. Cellular immune response or CMI is mediated by mostly T cells, which synthesized and released various cytokines that affect other cells. These two immune responses interact with each other and collaborate to achieve final goal of eliminating the antigen from host body. Intercellular infections are mostly mediated by CMI or cell-mediated immune response. CMI are responsible for resistance to intracellular pathogens, resistance to fungal and protozoal infections, as well as resistance to tumor formation. Cell-mediated cytotoxicity, basically mediated by cytotoxic cells, natural killer cells, active macrophages. CMI play an important role in some harmful conditions such as hypersensitivity reactions, graft rejection, and autoimmune disease condition. Thanks a lot for your patience. Please do subscribe my channel. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos in different fields of biosciences.